This meeting is being recorded.
Please remember the real me, even when I can't remember you. Julie White. Per the CDC, in the year of 2020, as many as 5.8 million Americans will be afflicted with Alzheimer's. It affects all races and genders, and by the year of 2060, it's predicted that as many as 14 million people will be afflicted with this. For myself, Alzheimer's has affected many members of my family, and I've had to experience the issues with it firsthand. Today, I want to speak to you about the causes and symptoms of Alzheimer's and some of the treatments that they have. But first, let me explain the background and history so you may be able to see everything that this condition will entail with people. Before anything, Alzheimer's was not understood. The disease was named after Dr. Alois Alzheimer, a German doctor. In 1906 was when it was first introduced to the medical field. It was discovered from the body of a female patient of Dr. Alzheimer's. She had a huge degradation of brain tissue, and when he looked through it, there was a lot of abnormal lumps on her brain, consistent with what today we now know as plaque. And they also were able to find the first instances of tangled fibers, which are now known as neurofibrillary issues. Though in the early 2000s, criteria was updated to more clearly define Alzheimer's symptoms from dementia symptoms, we're now able to more clearly identify via various MRI and fluid tests and even PET imaging the beginning of Alzheimer's. Many times we're also able to find biomarkers and other tests that we mentioned earlier. These tests are often good indications on whether you're going to have risk factors for Alzheimer's and the other things associated with it. Some of the symptoms are after the age of 65, your chances go way up. Other things are decreased problem solving, changes in speech patterns, poor judgment, and changes in personality. Other major symptoms also affect caregivers, as they sometimes won't be able to recognize their own family members, let alone people assigned to care for them. Likelihood increases as you get older also. Early detection of the disease is paramount for the options that you're given. But those affected, there are no cures. We know genetics play some part in it, but we're not entirely sure. Treatments don't stop Alzheimer's, but they do slow down the symptoms. Most of the drugs that are given don't restore any memories either. They simply slow down the effects. And eventually the drugs will lose their effectiveness. It's a sad reality that there is no cure for this disease. It's mostly just to help to slow the decline of people. Despite the grim outlook, a lot of progress has been made researching it and the disease, and now that you've been made more aware of the situation, hopefully you'll be able to help those afflicted even more. Since its discovery in 1906, we've made huge leaps and bounds in the research done for this affliction, and we catalog a huge number of symptoms, and we've refined that catalog to better differentiate it from dementia. Though this has all happened, little progress has been made for a search for a cure. And it just shows that we have a lot more work to do to help end the scourge of this disease. And the quote, Sally Kindreth, PhD, "Even if I can't cure it, I can still care." These are the sources I've cited. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you for your time.